Is Intellivision really trying to be successful with Amico Home? Is there a path where they could actually make some money on this? It's crazy. Let's talk about that and more and give you a sales update on how the Amico Home games are doing. Spoiler alert, it's not very good even though a new game has been released. You know, when the Intellivision Amico was more red hot, if you will, whenever they would drop a video or news or whatever, there'd be all these videos reacting to the news, to the gameplay, to whatever they said. And Intellivision themselves would make these reaction videos. And for instance, when they did one on Breakout, they had 18 YouTubers listed in it. Compare that to today. Recently, Cornhole was released on Amico Home. And when I did a review or I did a search on YouTube looking for Amico Home Cornhole by upload date, the game's been out for like 2 weeks. And in the past 2 weeks, I could only find 3 videos that actually showed the game being played. One of them was without any commentary whatsoever. And even the most biggest diehard Amico supporters that people think of when they think of Amico supporters, they seem to be not caring. And you would think with all the excitement, how much talk there was, that they'd be live streaming these games, that they'd be doing multiple videos, and that's just not the case. And now let's look at the sales numbers and to gauge kind of the interest. And I looked at the Google Play downloads. I looked at the Amazon reviews, the written reviews, the verified purchase reviews. You can leave a star review without writing anything, but it shows more interest if you write a review, and even more interest if you actually bought the thing, because it tells you if they're a verified purchaser or not. So someone could buy it on Google Play and still write a review on Amazon. And judging by these numbers and trends, it looks like there's just this very small group of diehard supporters who buy these games, and then after they buy them, there's really not much else happening. There's no organic traction. So let's start out with Astro Smash. And by the way, on Google Play and on Amazon, most of these games are $14.99. Man. So I had 3 different dates, and Amazon, it had 3 reviews, written reviews, with 3 verified purchases, but their last written review was in February, and since then there really hasn't been anything going on. On Google Play, Astro Smash at December, when I looked at it, it had over 100 downloads. They do them in scale, so you could have 10 plus, and then it goes up to 50 plus, and 100 plus, and then 500 plus. Ever since that, it hasn't changed. Oh, and by the way, if you had a pre-order, you could let Intellivision know and get a free code to get Astro Smash. Now, I believe the retail amount, the $15, would be taken off of the deposit. So if you had a $100 deposit and you redeemed a code for Astro Smash and you asked for a refund, they would give you $85 back. All right, let's move on to Cornhole. This is the new game over on Amazon. They have had 1 review and no verified purchases and no written reviews. And then on Google Play, only 10 plus downloads. And by the way, again, this is another game that would be free with a pre-order deposit. This was their Wii Bowling. This was a killer app. And looking at the interest, there's no interest in Cornhole. I mean, 3 videos in the past 2 weeks from the Amico supporters and only 10 plus downloads. It's like no one cares. Dark Frenzy's an interesting one because this is one of the few games that wasn't really announced for the Intellivision Amico system. Kind of a surprise release. How would this do? There's no way you can get free codes for this. As far as I know, I mean, actually, they could give, if they wanted to, they could easily give promo codes to their buddies if they wanted. But on Amazon, there was only 1 verified purchase, despite 4 and 5 reviews showing up in December and February. And since then, nothing's really happened. On Google Play, it's had 10 plus downloads at the end of last year. And since then, nothing. It can't even get up. It can't sell 40 copies since the new year. Then we have Missile Command, a game that has some name value. So on Amazon, there was 4 reviews with 3 verified purchases right away, and then nothing. And then on Google Play, there was 50 downloads at the end of the year. And since then, they've finally been able to get up to 100 plus downloads. And by the way, you could get this game free if you bought the physical product. All right, let's move on to Shark, one of the big name games. So at the end of the year, there was 2 reviews with 1 verified purchase. That went up by 1 review, but not any verified purchases. And on Google Play, It started out at 50 plus downloads. By February, it went up to 100, and since then, it's been unchanged. And again, this game could have been free with a pre-order deposit. Then there's Sideswipers. This was originally $4.99, now it's $6.99. The developer has said that this was nothing more than a demo they sold to Intellivision. It appears all they've done since then is add some AI so you could play with a computer-controlled opponent, which you couldn't even do when they first released it. So on Amazon, they've gotten up to 2 reviews, but 0 verified purchasers. And on Google Play, it started out at 50 plus downloads in December, and since then, nothing. And if you look at the totals, wow, on Amazon, only 8 verified purchases for 6 titles. All right, only 8. Only 8 people actually bought the game on Amazon and cared enough to write a review. And that hasn't changed since February. On Google Play, at the end of last year, they had 260 plus downloads. In February, it bumped up to 310, and then we have a new game release. And then now, you know, with Cornhole coming out and everything, now we're up to 370. So very minimal movement going on. So it really makes you wonder, are they really trying to get sales? You know, are they really trying to get sales? A cynic could say that they're just trying to take off anything they owe to pre-order people, you know, off their deposits, or they're just trying to twiddle their thumbs and look busy while they drain the bank accounts before they declare bankruptcy. Let's say that this is actually a last-ditch effort to do something with the Amico name, to do something with these games. Let's say that this is genuine for a second. Well, let me give them some advice. This is just my personal advice of what they could do to actually compete. So the first thing I would say is go ahead and sell the Intellivision brand and the remaining catalog. They already sold 2 of the pillar games of Intellivision, Shark and Astro Smash, to BBG. You really don't have much value left. You're not using the Intellivision name much beyond a company. Just rename the company Amico Home Entertainment, sell the Intellivision brand. Most of the games that are being released for Amico Home have nothing to do with Intellivision. The 2 that do don't even belong to them anymore. You might, if you're not using the brand, just get rid of it. Make some money. And maybe sell it to someone like an Atari who can actually do something with the brand. The second thing they should do is make the games much cheaper or even add supported free to play. If you search Google Play for cornhole games or fish eat fish games or racing games or dart games, you will come up with a ton of games that are completely free. And all of a sudden, sandwiched in between all these free ad-supported games are these $15 games. Really? You think if something's free to try and play that people are going to choose a $15 game? It makes absolutely no sense in that ecosystem. Yeah, originally you weren't going to be ad-supported or have microtransactions, but guess what? You flushed all that stuff down the toilet when you sold games to BBG, and when you decided that $17 million was not enough to release the system that you promised, and you were going to release this stuff on other platforms. So you might as well go ahead and do what everyone else is doing. And you'd have people who would download the games and that would try the games. I know I would. I would probably download and try the games if it was absolutely free, and then you'd make money off of both critics and fans alike just from the ads. And if they wanted to pay $3 to remove the ad, they could do that. You'd probably get a lot more downloads that way. And if you ever went on a platform like Steam or Switch with some of these games, they're not going to sell at $15. But if they're under $5, maybe $3 for Astro Smash or $5 or whatever, maybe, $2 for Dart Frenzy, people might actually buy it at that point. That brings me to my third point. Make the games touchscreen and controller compatible. That way you can actually bring it to Steam. The one thing they're getting away from is the simplicity. Having to have one Android device or a Fire Stick be the console, if you will, and then using multiple mobile devices that various reports say, I'm having trouble with my phone, I'm having trouble with this device. It makes things a lot more complicated. And guess what? Grandma's probably not going to want to play cornhole if she has to download an extra app to play it, right? So make the games, at least make that an option. Hey, you can play it the Amico Home way, where you can use your phones as a controller, or you can use a touch screen and make them controller compatible on devices like Steam and a Switch. Open yourself up to more customers. If you make it simpler, you're opening up the opportunity for more people to try it. And then the last thing is give the promo codes to reviewers, to unbiased reviewers, and allow Google Play reviews. Google Play's in like a beta form where you can't leave reviews. I don't know exactly why. It's been since November. I mean, they haven't said that they're going to change any of these games. They're going to do updates to any of these games other than Sideswipers. Why aren't those games able to be reviewed at this point? You will constantly be tinkering with it to make sure it works on multiple devices and stuff like that. But that's always the case with any developer. And John said at the beginning of the year at the Secret Knock Discord that they using the promo codes to give to the pre-order customers who they take that off their account, the value. So it's not costing them anything to give these codes out to people who already put down $100. So I really think that if you wanted to do something smart, you would get the word out. Unless you don't believe these games are really that great to begin with, are just going to be hammered. And then at what point, why are you even in business if these games are so simple and fun that anyone can pick up and play? You should be able to find some reviewers who would try it out and actually like it, right? Yeah, I don't know that any of that's going to happen. I really don't see any success in the future at this rate. I'm just looking at the numbers. The games aren't moving. The games aren't moving, and you really need to lower the price massively to become competitive. You know, if you had two people selling hamburgers at a restaurant, and one restaurant sold a quarter-pound hamburger for $20 and the other one sold it for $5, the one that's charging $5 is probably going to end up making more money in the long run because they're going to sell a whole lot more. You can't overcharge and expect people to pay for this stuff. If you want to succeed, if you really are trying, lower the price, make things more accessible so people can actually play it just using one phone or a controller, put it on more platforms like Steam and Switch. That just seems the logical thing to me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.